Okay, today I want to talk about creating systems. The question is, how do I create a system? It all started back when I wanted to start my own business, and I was looking through books at any cafe such as Starbucks, Barnes & Noble, and I was researching a lot on the internet, figuring out how systems work. Because businesses are made up of systems, and it's kind of like a pyramid that if you take one of the sides down, the whole thing will fall apart. Well, you always need a foundation, and one of the foundations that I use, I guess, would be my character. Maintaining my health, my emotions is a foundation. Keeping my mind straight, right, on focused, and persistent. That's kind of my foundation. And then if I had to go up one more on the pyramid, I would say that probably online. Taking a business online would be, or another word would be online business, you could call it. So you got that online business, and then what that consists of is basically a sales funnel. A sales funnel is where you drive traffic or people, in other words, to your website. And once they get to your website, there's usually a call to action, which is a sign up. It can be a lot of different things, like making a purchase or signing up or clicking a link on your webpage. And so that's still that's above the foundation on the pyramid, and it's called online business. And as you can see, they're starting to see a system that's being, I like to call it a sales funnel, but it's a system. A system has sales funnels in it. You want to do the least amount of work possible so you can get a lot, so you can have more time to work on other things that are going to bring in different sources of income. So I guess the next building block on the pyramid should be number 3 out of 5. Number 3 would be, I want to say, email marketing. Main reason email marketing is so important is because that's another form of revenue. If you're capturing people's emails, then you can do so much with that clientele type stuff. And you can engage with your audience a lot better and insist that they purchase, which we'll get to later, your product. And you can do so much with email marketing. A lot of people, if they had to say it, would say that the biggest mistake they made with their online business was not doing email marketing a lot earlier in the business. I mean, I heard that a few times, and I believe it. I don't know if I'm late or if I'm early, but I've been doing it for about a year now, and I understand why it's so important, because people most likely won't buy the first time. They're not going to buy the first time. You gotta keep talking to them and build a rapport, or otherwise called a relationship. And that right there is so important for branding reasons and selling. That's part of the sales funnel, in my opinion. So the first one, your foundation, is your character. The second building block is your online business. The third building block is email marketing. All right, the fourth one is let's see here. The fourth one is going to be your product. Your product is not going to be just one product. Just like your different sources of income, your product could be a bunch of different hobbies. But for example, if you are a musician, you would have different things that you do as a musician to collect money. It could be anything from making instrumentals to performing live and collecting royalties to selling your own music, like songs that you make with your voice on them. And these are all the different products and different sources of income that you get. So it's really important to have a bunch of different products. Even selling books, writing books, like as an author, that works too. You have so many different things, but you kind of want to focus the products on a niche. You want them to be pretty tightly grouped so that when it comes to sending out your email messages, they can kind of relate. I mean, some people may just like a certain hobby that you make money at, and they may not like the others. So you want to kind of get that tightly focused niche group. So with music, you can have a whole bunch of different different hobbies, different sources of income, but they're all going to be music. Some people might like your instrumentals more than they like your actual songs, vice versa, but it's relatively coming from the same person or business. So your product is going to be a bunch of different products, but they're all going to be kind of in the same tight group that you want them to be, so that you really only have to send out one message and it relates to all the people who are interested in your music. Now, music is just one example of a whole bunch of the music is one example of the many subcategories that fall under the main category. Music being, you could be a singer, dancer, producer, like that all pretty much falls under one main category, music. So for another example, you could use like retail. Like retail would be your main category, and all the subcategories that fall under it could be the different brands that go into the store, like bread, drinks. Like the list could seriously go on and on for retail because it's such a big one. But I think you get where I'm coming from. I'll try to explain it a little bit more. Your main category, or another example, could be agriculture, okay? I'm only saying that because I'm driving through some agriculture. But agriculture is your, like, farming. Okay, agriculture / farming. And say you were to send out emails on that. Well, you have different products for that. You have different, like, hay, you have animals, you have tractors. You see how that could all fall under the main category of agriculture / farming. So I think you get it now. Alright, so that's why you want to have a lot of different products, but they need to fall under one niche. That way you keep it simple, and also keep it your passion. That's like the big thing that's gotten me through so much, is just having a passion and driving with that. And it's like you grow with it, and you become more wise and knowledgeable, and you do it for you. And sometimes you make a buck, because the economy is going to be up and the economy is going to be down. Nothing is ever guaranteed. So if you stick to what you love doing as your business, then you're most likely going to succeed at it, because you're doing your thing, you started a business with your hobby, but and say you are making a lot of money, like, I don't know, 50,000, 100,000, 150,000 a year, or maybe even more than that a month. I don't know. But what I'm getting at here is you want to keep your hobby. Excuse me. I like the word hobby. I like the word passion. Passion for what you do. If you keep the passion alive, you won't notice those hiccups where you don't make as much money, or you don't really notice it because you're so focused on your passion. It's not really work, but you got to work, but it's not work. And sometimes you work by yourself because you're so successful at it, and you don't have to work for a boss or anything like that. But real quick, the last one, we'll go through them real quick. The first one is your foundation / character. The second one is online business. Third one is email marketing. Fourth one is your product. And then lastly, the fifth one, above the product, above the email marketing, and above the online and the character, I would say technology. Technology and networking. We're only going to have 5 blocks to the pyramid. Technology and, because we've been doing slashes, technology / networking. Those two right there together are very powerful. Very, very powerful combinations. Here's why. Above all else, networking is going to get you, like, people talking, that word of mouth. That is so important. When you show up to these events and you start talking with people, you want to exchange a business card. I found that out. But most importantly, you want to talk to them, and you want to have a get better attitude. You want to be talking to them as if you're like learning, like going to school, like you're learning, you're listening how they did it. But most importantly, like that first one that we talked about, their character, that's what you want to pay attention to. The foundation / character, the first building block, that's what you want to look at when you're networking. And look into other people, and kind of, you don't want to have an, like, I'm better than you attitude, but you kind of want to, you want to be confident in yourself at the same time, but you also want to talk to them and figure out where their head's at, and what their work ethic is, and are they disciplined. And you should be able to figure that stuff out pretty quickly. And that'll give you a rough idea of where you're at, I believe. And most importantly, it'll get you out of the house. Networking will get you out of the house and out of your shell and around people, because people's time and people's money are what will make you rich. Leveraging people's time and people's money will make you rich. And I believe that getting out there and talking with people, just really, there is nothing else like it. I believe that that's totally true, and that you should do that. Talking and networking with people. How long, you might ask, would be, just exchange the info. Make sure you get a number, unless that's escalating to another event or a party. Make sure you get their number, if that's the case. But really focus on passion. Like, what's your passion? Like, ask them what their passion is. Obvious. If it's obvious, then it's obvious. But you can still ask twice. Then that's the networking thing. This is the no-brainer. I'm about to hit you with the 1-2 right here. All right. So we had networking, and then the /, which was technology. Here's the big thing I've noticed when I talk to most of my network is technology. Not everybody can afford technology, like a cell phone or a smartphone, and they're, I don't want to say limited, but I do. Depending on the individual and what they can afford and what they enjoy doing, most people do not know or understand how systems work. They don't understand how applications on the smartphone are being downloaded, and they don't understand how to build web pages. This is what you can see where I'm going with this with technology. Learn technology because it is so vast and it is going to change everything. It's going to change a lot of things. And if you can understand the basics right now, such as applications on your smartphone and how those work, just think about how much easier your life is going to get when technology really comes to the front door and you're required to communicate with an automated system. I don't know. I just think that technology is really going to make our lives easier, and hands-free and up close and personal and voice-activated, stuff like that. It's all a part of a system too. And so reiterating what the question of this topic podcast was, is how do systems work, or why they're so important. The reason that they're so important and how you should figure out how to build one yourself, it's really easy. Don't think about it too much. Read books on not the main category business, but read the subcategory books about how business systems work. Learning that is going to show you how others have done it, and most likely it'll probably be online, or maybe not, however they built the system. But the reason you create the system is so that you don't have to work so hard. And then you test the system, you make sure that, and you monitor the system, and you manage it, and you make sure that things are running smoothly, so that ultimately you don't have to lift a finger, you just need to keep an eye on it every once in a while. I like to call that seeing when you get paid, or checking when you get paid. Because the only time that I really go on, the only time that I get on the internet is I'm making sure that the system is working properly. I'm making sure that my blog is getting traffic. I make sure that the stats on YouTube are getting attention. I make sure that people are clicking through on my links. How systems work. Learn how systems work. There's so many different types of systems. There's no single way of doing it. You will learn as you go. And the reason that they're so important is because it's honestly a personal, I forgot how to say it, personal opinion or personal, well, anyway, my reason for building a system is because I don't want to work so hard. I would rather work smart, have different sources of income, and most importantly, I want to free up my time so I can make more music. I want to have that time instead of working for somebody else on their shift, on their hours. And you can see where I'm going with this. Thank you for listening to this podcast, and may you have the best success that you've ever dreamed of. And when it comes true, just keep believing in yourself and look to the stars and shoot for the moon. And I don't know, maybe I'll see you one day. All right, talk to you soon. Bye.